Do you want to make thumbnails like this one? Well, make sure to stick to the end to know how. Yo boys, welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make thumbnails and graphic designs like I do. So first, you need to just go to Google, right? You go to Blender, and you see blender.org. You click that, and then you're gonna click download. You're gonna click download right here, and you're gonna click this. So you're pretty much just gonna download that, and it says you're breathtaking. I'm gonna cancel this because I already have it, but you guys just download that, follow those steps, and you'll be good. Afterwards, after you set up Blender, you can just open up the Blender. It won't open up there, it will probably just open up on your desktop. Okay, so it might take a bit to load, and once you got it to load, it will look like this. You're gonna click out of that, and you're perfectly fine like that. You're gonna, this is just what you start off with, but I'm not gonna use this, so I'm just gonna delete it. Okay, so, I have this little, let's open this, I'm gonna move this over here. So I have this little, Google file. I'm gonna link it in the description with all my Google, with a bunch of, Blender files for Fortnite skins, made by the community. I'm gonna link that in the description. But here you're gonna click File, and this is how you're gonna enter a certain object. You're gonna click Append right here, and then this is gonna pop up. You're gonna open this. Let's say we go to Downloads right here, and here we have it. We have, let's say we click here. We're gonna click on Object, and we're gonna select both of them just by dragging, and we're gonna append that here. This is what it's gonna come up. If yours looks like mine with no colors or anything, you're gonna have to click this circle right above here, right? You're gonna click that. That is just gonna add the textures for you, and you should be good. There's your thing. Now let's go through the settings. First, you're gonna click this little rendering tab right here, and the render engine you're gonna use is Cycles. Then you're gonna put this, if you want a good quality and for it to render quickly, I would use 500. If you want something really good, use like 2000 or something like that. But that's not really necessary. Okay, so I'm gonna just put 500. Then you're gonna go over here to light paths, put this total to 6, put this to 4, put this to 4, and just leave this at 0. Here under clamping, you're gonna put this to 6, and put this to 6. And then here, film, right? It'll go transparent, and just gonna click that. Then you're gonna go over here to this little image thing. It's called view layer. You're gonna go down here, click denoising. Then you're gonna open denoising and switch both of these to 0.25. And that's it for the settings. And let's get on to the fun part, modeling the character. As you can see, there are many tools. Here you're in object mode. In object mode, you can use the move tool to move around the character, the rotate tool to, for example, rotate a character, and if you mess up, you could always just do Control Z and it will bring it back to original. The scale, which you could scale certain parts of a character like that, see? And this tool, I don't really use it very much, but it's pretty much like a combination of all three. Okay, so now what we're gonna do to actually pose the character is we're gonna click on the little bones, right? So these little bone things turn orange. These are called the bones. And you're gonna click here to where it says object mode, and you're gonna click pose mode. Here, you're gonna select a actual, like one of these little stick things, and over here it's gonna tell you what it is. Let's say this one, for example, is upper arm right, and this upper arm right controls the entire arm. So I wouldn't do move, because if you try to move it, it just doesn't look that good, right? So it's going to mess it up. So what I do is just use the rotate tool most of the time. Just rotate it to however you want. Just rotate the arm. And for example, that controls that entire arm. You'll get the hang of it as you keep practicing. But now I'm going to do a quick time lapse of me doing part of this model. Okay, so I know this isn't the best one, but I just wanted to check back in with you guys. And as I want this to be a quick video, I didn't want to go full out on this blend. I just wanted to show an example. Okay, so this is what we got, right? So what we gotta do is, as you can see, this is what it looks when it renders. This is what it will look like, but it will literally render nothing. You want to know why? Because it's rendered and there is no camera right now. There's no camera at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to go add and we're going to click camera. Then we're going to position the camera correctly to a position we enjoy. And every time we want to look at it, we just click this little camera button. So I'm pretty sure I want to do it more like that. Put the thing like that. And here we go. I actually kind of like this angle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my aura bones again. I like to call them bones just cuz. And make it a bit cooler by making it look either, you can make it cool two ways. You can make it look down at the camera or at the camera in general. Or you can make it look above the camera as if it was staring into the horizon, right? I usually do at the camera just cuz it looks good. Like it with like it staring at it. But I think that's good. So now we go into this render scene, which is this little other button. And as you can see, it's really dark, and we don't really want it to be like that. So this is the next step of the plan. Here comes in the next website. This is the other website that we will need to go to. It's called HDRI Haven. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat website. It gives you all the HDRIs needed to use for things like Blender and stuff like that. So we just want to go to hdriheaven.com, and then we're going to go to HDRIs here. We're going to click on all, and this is the one that I use. I'm going to go to search, and I'm going to search storm. The one that says storm, and we're going to look at, there's Setter Bridge and there's approaching storm. We're going to click on approaching storm, and we're going to download the HDRI. I recommend downloading whichever one. No one is better than the other. It's just a bigger file size, and that doesn't really matter. So you just download whatever one of these you want. Once you have that installed, let's go back to Blender. Here we're going to go to shading. Here's where we're going to click on shading. We're going to click on shading. As you can see, we're right here. Right? We're over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to, you see where it says object right here where my mouse is at? You're going to click world. And once you click world, these two little boxes pop up. What you're going to want to do is make sure use nodes is on. And you're going to click add. You're going to search, and you're going to search environmental texture, and here it is. Here's where we're going to make sure you connect color to this color right here. Then you're going to click open. And you're going to find in your downloads, you're going to look up storm to find the storm HDRI. Here it is, the approaching storm HDRI. I'm going to open the image, and it should collect here. So now when I go back to layout, that's up at the top, and go to here, it's going to be a lot lighter. Let's say this is a montage or something, right? Let's go back over here to this normal texture. Let's say this is a montage and you want to add some text, right? Okay, so let's add some text. What you're going to do is click add. You're going to click text. Here is this just normal text. You're going to click tab to be able to edit it. And it's just going to say, let's say it's your first highlights video or your first montage. let's just say 01 like that. I'm going to click tab to confirm it. And then you're going to move it around how you like it, right? And just let's keep it like that for now. And what we're gonna do is go down over here to this left. There's this little A. You're gonna click on that, and that's the text. That's the text icon. And you're gonna click on font. Here you can change whatever font you want. I already have some fonts downloaded. Here are all the fonts that your computer normally comes with. But the font that your computer normally comes with is not the font I'm looking for. I'm not going to leave this link down in the description. You guys can just look it up on Google. It's called Burbank Big Condensed Bold, right? And you're just gonna look that up and just download it off of Google. And this is like a Fortnite looking font, so I really like it. So let's make it bigger by clicking E and S. E and S will just make the entire thing just bigger. Let's just make it like about that big and move it around. This might be a bit too big, so let's just make it about there. We can make it something like this. Something like that. But let's say you want to make it like 3D, 3D makes it look a bit cooler. So what you're going to do is above where you change the font, you're going to click geometry. And this extrude, you're going to change it a little bit until it's enough 3D. Then I usually put this depth at around like 2, maybe even 1 for this one. This one looks better with a 1, with 0.1. And then if you want to change the font, the color, let's say you want to change it to a nice little red, you go over here to where, right under the A for the text, it's material properties. And that material properties, you're going to click new. It's going to automatically bring up this because you have it selected. In the base color, let's change it to this nice and neat red. We're almost done. Now that you have the color that you want, you're going to make sure you like it by going to the render. And by looking at it, do you think you like it? Yes, I actually kind of like this. So now the very last step in this is doing the lighting. Lighting is not that difficult actually. You're just going to go to the light right here and you're going to add an area light. I'm going to make it a bit bigger, like that, and drag it over to our character. We're going to want to have this over here. Let's say we want this area right here. Okay, so we're going to back it up a small bit for our character right there, and we're going to want to add another one. And this usually is just, this one's going to be a point one. This one's going to be for the text. Right there. And then we're going to add another area one. Add area. Let's say we want area light. Make it bigger by E and S. Then we're going to turn it like so. And make sure it's on the character correctly. Now let's go check it out. Let's see what we think. Now the lighting looks a bit better. It actually looks kind of neat, not gonna lie. And that actually is pretty awesome. If we're satisfied with what we want, we can just click render and render image. That will bring up this nice little neat page where it will render. This might take a bit to render, so we can do one quick time lapse as it goes. Okay, so now that we have the image finished, as you guys can see, we can over here click image, save as, then bring this over here. Let's just save it in the downloads folder, and let's name it game GFX video number 1. Save it as that, right? So now that we save it, we can go ahead and close Blender. Yes, we can save. Let's save this. You're gonna have to save this file. Just save it to your downloads or whatever. It automatically saves to temp, but it doesn't really matter. Just save it as whatever. And then what you're gonna want to do is open up Photoshop. And as this loads, we're gonna see that we have the background. We just close that. So we have this transparent. You guys can get whatever image you can. You can find it off of Google. You can go in replays and get it yourself. I just get it from whatever. It doesn't really matter where you get it from. And so let's see. I'm pretty sure this was the background. It was a pretty large background, so I can zoom it in and still have quite good quality. So I'm gonna zoom it in to something that's actually kinda. I'm gonna zoom it into something like that, so it's more of the sky than the. It's more of the sky than the floor. Something like that would be nice. We can now wait for this to render. We're gonna go to place embedded again, and we're gonna find. Here it is, the GFX video number 1 PNG, and here should load our image. As you can see, it's under the background, so we just gotta drag it up, and here it is. Now we can have that. What I like to do for some of my things, I usually just grab it. And just click on the layer, go to filter, click on blur, just click box blur or something like that. I actually, never mind, I don't do box blur. What I do is instead of doing box blur, I do Gaussian blur. Let's just say, like, if this is the image, we have 20 pixels, we have 15 pixels, and just keep going down like that. 10 pixels. I think 10 would be good like that. We blur it like, nope, that is way too much. I just realized that. Wait. Let's do 7 pixels. Let's do 6 pixels. And I think that should be good enough. Yes. Now that might still be a bit too much. How about we try something lower, like maybe 4. Now that looks kind of fire. So now what you're gonna do is just file, export as. Let's say we're gonna name it. Let's say, I don't know, GFX video number 1. The same thing we named the other one. This one's a JPEG, so it doesn't really matter. We're gonna export it. We're gonna wait for that to export, and now we're done. That is all we need to make a great thumbnail. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and please go check out my other videos if you enjoyed this one. Bye.